To you all. Let's see where the Spirit takes me. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, "They Shall Be Like Madmen, Sparing None." And this is from 2nd Esdras, the 16th chapter, and the 71st verse, but I'm going to read from the 68th verse to the 75th verse. You can read down to the end. Matter of fact, you can read the whole chapter, because in the beginning of this chapter, the first couple of verses goes into the destruction, goes into the missiles, and that will come the destruction. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai bringing the destruction by sending the Son with the angels to gather the elect of Israel only. The only nation that's going to be delivered in them ships are Israelites that happen to be of the elect. That's Matthew 24. It's all throughout the scriptures. Revelation 11. The deliverance, Isaiah 11. And I want to also get back into Isaiah 19, verses 18 down to 23, 25. And you had this big thing with God Logic and Vocab. They pulled that scripture out. Now I guarantee you they got that scripture from us. We use that as Christians. When you ever hear a Christian bring out that scripture? They watch us and they take our weapons. Call themselves trying to use our weapons, our weapons against us. And God Logic didn't even break the scripture down the right way. What I did was I got my red Bible with the precepts. And there's there's one precept when you read them verses. 19 verse, the 19th verse, and I believe I went down to like the 24th verse. But there was one precept. There was no precepts. So when I come across the red Bible and there's no precept, that means they don't have any answers. But there was one precept that sent me to Isaiah chapter 11, starting at verse 10, really 11 and 11, as you read down. And it mentions Assyria. It mentions the Philistines, which the Philistines are Egyptians. That's another. When you come across the word Philistines, they go back to the people of Mizraim, which are so-called Egyptians. Egyptians, there was no such thing people as Egyptian people, or no such land called Egypt. That name was given to that land and the people by the Edomites. They conquered them. Now I went into some of the history, and I didn't even know all this. That which I knew this, the Ptolemaic dynasty, which you had when you go back to Daniel 7, when it goes into speaking about Alexander the Greek and the four wings, and one of them was Ptolemy Sada, which came up with Alexander as a child. So they were close with him. And when he died, he got sick and he died. Those four, Seleucid, Ptolemy, Cassandra, and Lassamasus, and there was a couple others. But those are the four principal ones. So when you go to Daniel 7, it speaks about the four. They even tell you that in Daniel chapter 11. And scholars even agree with that. So it was Ptolemy Sada. He was the first king to rule over that area called Egypt, which is known as the king of the south in Daniel chapter 11, going into a little history. And So after that, you had Jake came in when it came into power. 1,000 years when Esau was underneath us, so to speak. They were not in a prominent position. We came into power under the Byzantine Empire, which we know that those are Jake's. And we had wars 639, 640, 642, circa 642. There were, within those 3 or 4 years, you had battles against Byzantine forces, against the Arab forces. The Arabs were coming up into power. And they had took the land, we got the land back, but then they had took the land again. So we were pushed out of Egypt. So you got current Egypt today, which Esau doesn't control Egypt. The Arabs took that control back. We're talking 2,600 years ago. And they kept in power. They were trying to take down Jerusalem. That's what that movie, The Kingdom of Heaven, is all about. Based upon a true story. We had a lead character, Saladin, and we saw the movie. And that's in the history how they defeated the people of Jerusalem. And they had the Edomites playing the people inside of the wall of Jerusalem. And he took the land, but he showed them mercy. So he didn't totally destroy him. He showed them mercy. Just give up the land. Y'all can go about your business. So if you go into that history, that's why you think you got when the Rothschilds went down into Palestine, they were all they ran into was Arabs. But there was no Edomites there. They had Arabs because Arabs and took that whole area. So those Palestinians goes back to the Arab world. There's a lot of history, man. Can't keep up with everything in history. But anyway, so like I said, I've been ever since that thing with God Logic. I've been going. We are familiar with Isaiah 19. Isaiah 19 is happening as we speak. The cruel Lord is here, which we know who the cruel Lord is. He's definitely the cruel Lord, and I'm gonna show you something. They don't give a damn, and if you notice, he hasn't said anything negative about the Arab world, the Elamites, East Indians. Hasn't said anything about the like these militia groups, these Edomites, these Patriot Front. He ain't going after the KKK. He started going after the Northern Kingdom. Now he's after the Southern Kingdom. And they're like madmen, as the scripture said. So this is the beginning of, and he's bragging. We're going to federalize the whole nation, the contiguous United States. No congressman, no senator, the Supreme Court, American media. They're saying what he's doing is wrong, but they're not. You got this administration. And then you got 350 million so-called citizens in this country, and nothing's happening, man. He's sitting as a king, which he is the king. He's the cruel Lord. He's the king of Babylon. It says that the king of Babylon's going to wax feeble when all hell breaks loose. So we're in that time. This is not the time to fall out the truth. This is not the time to park your what do you call it? The plow. This is not for you to leave the plow there and leave. No, this is for you to hold on to the plow tightly. You might have did 15 years, 15, 17 years, 10 years, 8 years. Solid. Then all of a sudden at the end of this thing you falling out. Yeah, because I can't see what y'all see, because you ain't looking. I don't see no prophecies coming to pass. Remember the major prophecy, and I believe, I'm going to get into the subject, the major prophecy that's going to happen before the destruction, as I always say, And I believe it's going to be the cruel Lord that's going to push it. He's federal. I believe he's federalizing everything, the whole country. So you're going to have to take the sea hit under federal law, not under state law. He wants to do away with state law. Everything's going to be federalized. One big happy kingdom. You would own nothing and be happy about it. The Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is working through this man, through the cruel Lord. So he has to be here. He has to be in the position that he's in. And the Most High getting ready to turn his faucet up. I believe 2006, which we're almost in September. So we're less than 4 months away before 2026. And I believe the Most High going to push the notch up. He's going to turn up the flame. And he's going to work through the cruel Lord, the king of Babylon. So anyway, let me go ahead and read this from the 68th verse. So this is 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 68 to 75. And this is a time to go back and read or teach on Jacob's trouble, Daniel 12, Jeremiah 30, 2nd Ezra 15, 2nd Ezra 16. This is all Jacob's trouble. Because Jacob represents all of Israel. Like I said, he's not messing. What about the Arabs? There's millions of Arabs in high positions, various positions. How do you know if they're not sleeper cells? Because they used to say that. Well, there's sleeper cells. He ain't mentioned nothing negative about the Moabites coming over here. Elamites, Chinese, Japanese. He ain't got no problem with Chinese and Japanese. Remember World War II, they put the Japanese in internment camps. We're living in a dark time. But there's light at the end of the tunnel for us. And the only ones that are going to be delivered are the elect of Israel. The main deliverance is going to take place here in Babylon the Great, because we're going to be saved from impending danger. Not another nation. Not one heathen is going to make it in them ships. Not one Israelite that's not a part of the elect is going to make it in them ships. So it behooves you to move out the country and go to another country. Especially you dudes you people that fell off. Now I don't know what's going to happen with the ones that take the chip, the MOTB, and these other major One West camps. They're gonna have to do they're gonna have a lot of explaining to do to their congregation, to their zombie congregation, about whether they should take the chip or not. And I'll say this is my assessment, that most of them will take the chip if their leader says go ahead and take it. Now, if their leader said don't take it, it's a chip, it's a fulfillment of Revelation 13:16, they'll listen to him. But if he says, they say go ahead and take it, if there's elect among them, they're gonna come against them. They're gonna leave. They're gonna turn their back. It's gonna be a big shakeup. All you niggas out there that coming against GMS about the chip, gonna be time. Reckoning time is coming. We're gonna see who's real and who's not real. And all you guys that fell off, you're going to get caught up in this mess. And you're going to know why you're caught up in this mess. Whether you slip on a banana peel, whether you off yourself, whether you delete yourself, whether you get in a riot, whether there's no food for you and you go to a supermarket to try to steal food and somebody shoot you or whatever, or a cop shoot you. The protection is going to be on us. We're going to eat. I remember when we first got on YouTube, you hardly ever see scoffers. You rarely ever see scoffers on any of our. If you notice that, where's the scoffers and the scorners? Because they see to GMS, everything they saying is coming to pass. I guess they're the men of the Lord. And you women, oh my God, the woman. That's from New Jack City. And the woman. Oh, the woman. Hey, hey, 7 women shall take hold of 1 man. 7 meaning completion, signifying completion. Brother's going to have 10 women. Brother's going to have 20 women. And they're all going to be young and beautiful. We're going to get the pick of the litter, as they say. Because you're losing that, you got nothing. You got a lot of fine women that are homeless. You got a lot of fine women that are homeless among Jake, Israel, and among the heathens. And we're gonna get them from the heathens too. Oh yeah, we're gonna get them heathens. We're gonna have harems, bro. On this side and in the world to come, baby. If what I'm saying is not uplifting to you, you need to jump in the fucking grave and bury yourself, Jack. And we having fun right now. And these Christians, they're not going to know what to do. Most Christians don't follow, they don't, first of all, they don't read Revelation. They don't read the book of Revelation. And if they did, they don't understand it. A couple of them, Edomite pastors, they'll say, yes, it's microchip. Don't take that microchip. But they ain't going to say what the beast is. They ain't going to say what Babylon is. Some of them do. A couple of them do. A couple of them born-againers, them Edomite born-againers. We're living in a very exciting time. As my man said, as Tank said, which was the young brother. That's Radon Chan's brother, younger brother, if you don't know. That was Tommy Chong's son. Was Tommy Chong supposed to be a Moabite? But I believe he's a Jake. I believe the hippie dude in the Cheech and Chong movies. I believe he's a Jake. He had that Jake spirit on him. But I could be wrong. But you know what? You got Jake scattered throughout the whole planet. Anyway, let's go ahead and read it. 68 verse, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you. Who are they taking away? The northern kingdom tribes. Trump, the cruel Lord, have pretty much declared war on Venezuela, and we know why, because he said it some years ago. He said we're going to take the oil. So now they're saying they bringing fentanyl, they're bringing this. That's an excuse for war. But that's good, because Trump had the meeting with Putin, and if Putin is still alive, he's the one that's going to put the decree out, go ahead and hit him. Hit him and keep hitting him. Majority of the people of the planet Earth, and especially Americans, you couldn't even tell them that this place is going to be destroyed in Third World War. You couldn't tell Alex Jones. Alex Jones can't deal with this. Alex Jones knows a lot of things, but if Alex Jones ever let us on the show, we'll go right into it, man. We'll go into the MOTB. We'll go into the Babylon the Great. How this is going to be destroyed. You're going into slavery. We're just going to be straightforward. That's the best way to tell somebody straightforward, right? And coming back to you women going to be under us. And you black women, you're going to be asked out. You're going to be asked out because nobody wants you. Nobody wants you. Esau don't want you. Moab don't want you. Jake damn sure don't want you. So you're going to be asked the fuck out. That's why we need them concubines, baby. Or we're going to be having fun in the kingdom. Oh, we having fun now. It says, shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. You're going to get fed with things offered unto idols. Being idle. Look up the word idle. Look at the word feed. Look up the word offer. Remember, Paul spoke about that. I'll give you foods offered to other gods, and that includes, pork and things that are not lawful. Like in the New York State prison system, especially in the city, you got the Muslims. They're the cooks, and they don't deal with no pork. And then you can either, if you're in the Tombs or the Rikers, you can have a kosher meal or halal meal, or a regular meal, which there's no pork in it. The Muslims do not deal with pork. Now shrimps, I don't know how the Arabs think on the shrimp, because they're unclean too. When they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. Now, did not them Latin tribe consent? A lot of them, they put the cruel Lord in office. It says, and they that consent unto them or him shall be held in derision and in reproach, disrespect, and trodden underfoot. Wait a minute, I voted for you. We don't give a shit. You're going back to Mexico. You're going back to Venezuela. 70th verse. For there shall be in every place, because remember, he wants to federal. He's starting in D.C. He mentioned we're gonna send troops to New York, Chicago, L.A., Atlanta. But he said eventually we're gonna federalize the whole country. There's not gonna be no state laws. It said, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection. When you look up the word, let's look up the word insurrection. Okay, 75, let me do this. Look up the word insurrection. What the hell happened? Next check. I don't know what the hell happened. It's written totally different. Let's come on down. Insurrection. Let's look up the word insurrection. When the woman cook you some red spaghetti with red sauce, don't eat it. Don't eat her food, period. A lot of these Jake women are witches. Insurrection meaning. You got a term sedition, which is also in the Apocrypha. What we do, if you speak and you rile up the people, you don't do nothing. You don't break no windows. You don't steal from nobody. You don't kill nobody. But your speech causes people to kill people and rape, rob, and murder. Then they're going to catch you, and you say, I didn't do nothing. Yes, you did. You riled the people up. That's sedition. That's why when you're out there speaking, you just got to teach. Anything you say, you got to filter it through the scriptures. Insurrection, a violent uprising against an authority or government. But now it can apply to the government coming against the people. In meaning inside, insurrection means to cut from within. You get a corrupt mayor that wants to bring crime to the city, to bring federal troops in, or whatever the case may be, to get federal dollars. That's an insurrection. Let's come on back. For there shall be in every place in the next city a great insurrection upon them, those that fear Yahweh. Who feared Yahweh? The elect first, but all Israel, even the ones that are not a part of the elect, all Israel fear Yahweh. How do they fear Yahweh? By keeping the laws to a certain level. Because Jake knows that a man with a man, they know Esau, it's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, there's nothing wrong with a man being with a man, a woman being with a woman. As a matter of fact, there's nothing wrong with a human being with an animal. That's how Esau don't, because the Most High is not dealing with Esau, period. That's why he gets up. How many Jakes do you know want to change their plumbing? I guarantee you, any Jake out there that wants to change his plumbing is bugged out, completely bugged out in the mind. Esau will do it and won't be bugged. He'll have a psychiatrist. He says, no, he's all right. His mind worked good. Jake that want to do that, you can find out he got all kind of demons on him. All kind of fucking demons on him. Like little nigga Nas X. Ain't nobody buying his records because he's talentless. He's a talentless bum. So he's out there, I don't know, Rodero Drive or whatever. He got money. He's a millionaire with no talent. He's walking around with whitey tighties on and cowboy boots. And I believe he was high on something. But people are saying that that's a stunt to get his name up because he has no talent. He has no talent. He can't sing. He's like fucking the black, what's this guy? William Hung. He's a black William Hung. He has no fucking talent. It says, they shall be like madmen. We're going to show you who the madmen are, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. There it goes again, fear the Lord. I'm going to show you that all Israelites fear the Lord to a certain degree. For they shall waste and take away their goods. You're going to see that. I'm going to show you the video. And shall cast them out of their houses and cast them out of the country. The cruel Lord is talking about kicking Jake out because you really ain't, even though you were born here and your grandparents, we're gonna send you this fucking the Sudan or something. Then shall they be known who are my chosen. Who are the chosen of the Most High? Starting with the prophets, the elect. But it's also talking about Israelites as a whole, whether they know that they're Israelites or not. And they shall be tried, tested as the gold in the fire, to be purified. I'm going to read to the 75th verse. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith Yahweh, behold the days of trouble, Jacob's trouble, the time of Jacob's trouble are at hand. But I will deliver you from the same. Who is he going to deliver? The elect of Israel. Be ye not afraid for the elect, neither doubt, for the Most High is your guide. He's going to guide you. Now I'm going to show you that all Israelites fear the Heavenly Father in one way or another. Romans, because Jake keeps the law by nature. The average Jake out there in the hood, he ain't thinking about it. But now they doing it because they're bugged out in the head. They doing it for these rituals and so forth. And like Diddy and stuff, he get you in that fucking in that hotel or that house, it can get you drunk. You're gonna be gonna go to sleep and you're gonna wake up with your asshole wide open and need to go to the doctor to get it stitched up. And you know what? What did he get charged with? He basically got charged with soliciting a prostitute. But he went across state lines, so it became federal. The feds were able to come in. So really, he got a smack in the wrist. You deal with a prostitute, you get caught out there in the state, you're going to go before the judge. The judge going to say, he's going to try to make you feel bad. Do you feel bad about what you did? And your mind would say, no, I don't feel bad. Well, you should be. This is immoral. Anyway, that's a $250 fine. Boom. That's why this motherfucker, the missiles can't come quick enough. So anyway, let's go ahead and read this. Romans 2 verse 12. For as many as have sinned without law shall perish without law. Let me read again. 12 verse again. For as many as have sinned without law. You didn't come into the truth. You don't know the laws. You're just out there committing adultery, but you still can get put to death. Because that's the law unto death. For as many as have sinned without law shall also perish without law. So a lot of these jakes that didn't, get the memo to keep the laws, because they're not Israelites, the Most High is not going to say, well, they didn't know that they were Israelites and, I'm going to spare. No, he's not going to spare them. You're going to have a lot of so-called good, honest, decent people, jakes in America, that's going to die over here. What did they do wrong? They were not a part of the elect. And as many as have sinned in the law shall be judged by the law. So this is Paul speaking, right? The ones that have sinned in the law shall be judged by the law are the ones that were raised up as Israelites. That's why Peter and Paul said, you don't got to keep all the laws. Certain laws you got to keep. Adultery, animal dying of its house. Certain laws you got to keep, especially laws of adultery. The Apostle Paul condemned a man for laying with his father's concubine or father's wife in 1 Corinthians chapter 5. And then he put Satan on him. He said, the Most High going to destroy that body for what you did. Well, he didn't know he was Hellenized. You can do that under a Hellenistic system. That's why you had men with long hair. Paul got on them about that. For not the hearers of the law are justified before the Most High, but the doers of the law shall be justified. Remember, the doers of the law are the ones that were raised up. In Colossians 2 and 16, you read that whole chapter. He said, don't let no man judge you concerning the Sabbath day and high holy days and so forth. Now, natives say, oh, that's talking about animal sacrifice. Nope, it's talking about the Lord because they didn't come up on the law. So he didn't expect them to keep them laws perfectly. But he did get on the Israelites that came up that was born under the household of an Israelite. He's required to keep the laws. He said, which is a shadow of things to come, right? It says, 14 verse, for when the Gentiles, those are Israelites that don't know that didn't know that they were Israelites, which have not the law, because they wasn't raised up. Their parents didn't circumcise them on the 8th day, and they didn't experience the bar mitzvah, coming under the covenant, son of the covenant, which is the laws. Do by nature the things contained in the law. I remember when I was a kid, I was 4 years old. He said, I ain't no faggot. I like the little girls. And it says, the things contained in the law, these having not the law, are a law unto themselves. What is that talking about? Jake knows not as bad to kill somebody. They're going to have a guilt trip on him. Esau don't do that. He killed somebody and I didn't do shit. I don't care. I killed the motherfucker. Jake knows that laying with another dude's wife is wickedness, but they do it anyway because they are wicked. So they know, their conscience is saying, I know I ain't supposed to do that. The woman that has the man, initial man, kills this guy, kills both of them. Well, he's acting in the law. The Most High put the spirit on him to kill both of them or one of them because it was in his heart that's adultery. But then again, when you're dealing with women, period, any of these women out here of a particular age, they all hoes, man. Amos 7 and 17, I know that by heart. They should be a harlot in the city, right? So a woman that's 18 years old, she been flipped and so forth multiple times. But now it's like a sport to them. What does it say in Proverbs 30? I have wiped my mouth and said I have done no wickedness. Merely paraphrasing. It says, for when the Gentiles, the Israelites in the Gentile state of mind, like Cornelius, which have not the law, do by nature the things contained in the law, these having not the law are a law unto themselves. And this is going to explain it in the 15th verse, which show the work of the law written in their hearts. So the work of the law is written in our hearts, not fully, because we don't know all the law. We don't know, okay, the Sabbath is coming, the Passover is coming, the Day of Atonement is coming. You might not eat pork because you heard a Muslim say it, but you might eat shrimp. So you broke the law, right? It says, are you with your woman? You may or may not want to sleep next to your woman on her period. You might have her sleep on the couch, but technically, if you're under the law, all you guys that claim you're under the law, you ain't under the law. Because you're going to have another house outside of your house for your woman to stay in while she's on a period. And it can be for 10, 11, 12 days. There ain't no 7 days. Sometimes it's more than 7 days because the clock starts when the blood stops. When the blood stops, she's unclean for 7 days, and she can't be in the you can't put her in the den. If she's in the den, you can't go in the den. She's gonna have to. In the kingdom of heaven, we're not gonna be sleeping like your husband. Coming home from work and all that. You're gonna have separate places where you're gonna have your various women, and you're gonna go see different women and different concubines. Well, I'm gonna see Sarah tonight. I'm gonna see Rebecca to later that night, or whatever the case may be. All these women in the kingdom of heaven, when the kingdom is established, every woman a man got 1,000 women, all them 1,000 women gonna be pregnant. All of them gonna be walking around barefoot and pregnant. That's your job. And so it would show the work of the law written in their hearts, their conscience also bearing witness, and their thoughts demean while accusing or else excusing one another. Right, like you can accuse a guy of committing adultery with your wife. Yo, you lay with my woman, I'm gonna blow you away, nigga. Then he lose it and blow his woman away. That's been happening. There was this one woman, the dude found out when they got married and everything, she wasn't pregnant, and she was with this guy, and she had 3 kids, and he come to find out that none of those kids were his, and he went and shot her up. Now, why did he do that? Because the law was in his heart. The law was in his heart. So, anyway, let me do this. I just want to show you this. Then I'm going to close. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still destroying, spoiling, and destroying them that fear the Lord. Who fears the Lord? The Israelites. So this is fair use, fair use, fair use. I am going to slow it down. Then I'm going to close. Here we go. And these are Edomites. And this is Linwood, California, CA, California. This is a like a beauty salon, barbershop established. And these are the Latin tribes. So they yelling out. The guy wouldn't open up the door, so he said, okay, you don't open the door, we're going to take your parents. They shall be like madmen, sparing none. They're taking kids, a 6-year-old kid, the mother, the 6-year-old kid, they take the kid and the mother, and they put them in 2 separate areas. The older son might be in another state. You tell me that this guy is not the cruel Lord. This is why they got to be deleted, pursuant to Obadiah 1 and 18. See, these guys are showing their true nature. Esau's showing their true nature because they want to get a check. I said, look, there's nothing righteous about this. There's nothing righteous about this. You got maybe Mexican, the parents maybe got in here illegally or snuck up in here. They have a child. A child is born in the States. All the child knows, the child been in this country for, let's say, 20 years, getting ready to go to college. He don't even really know Spanish. Might got an Edomite girlfriend or something. And they're going to just take you and say, go back to Mexico. Go back to wherever. These are cruel people led by a cruel Lord. And they're going to pay. They're going to pay. And all you jakes that are apologists for this devil, you're not going to make it. You can see that they're Edomites, right? And you can see they get off on this shit. They get off on this, man. But guess what? You Latin tribes, you had your daughters. You were so happy when your Mexican daughter brought home a fucking white boy from college. Oh, he really made it. No, you didn't fucking make it. That's what you motherfucking get. The first thing y'all niggas yelled out was, what about the African Americans helping us? Man, you shitted on us, man. Not all of y'all, just most of y'all, man. You think you better than Jake. You know? It's reckoning time, baby.
Open the door. Open the door. Open the door. Yes. Yes, that's you. You guys see him. Yeah. I see him. I'm going to go back to your dad. I want to go back to your dad.
Right, he said, I'm going to get your mom and dad. Now, I think this one is a unsi. That's pig Latin for coon.
I'm going to get your mom and your dad.
You can see that that's a Jake. That's a Jake right there. Jake is fucking terrible, man. Our people are fucking terrible.
Oye, no le hagas caso.
You guys
No
can't
le
tell,
hagas
y'all can't
caso.
tell him that though.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, you can take it to go get his mom.
Yeah.
Man, identify yourself. I need you guys.
In the back, we don't have to show you nothing.
Hey,
Get him back! Get him back! Hey, that's the thing.
You got a warrant?
But you don't have his number.
Shit.
Who are you?
Shit.
Who are you?
It's public property. It's public. It's public. You trying to go on private property.
All right, it's good. It's good.
I want to go. I'm going to go back and get your salary and all.
no le hagas caso.
Why tell him
No le
that?
hagas caso.
Just because you can't get him, why tell him to go get his
And this is you can see that this is an established business. They ain't selling drugs out that motherfucker. They're not criminals. Hey, like the crew lord said, we're gonna get the criminals and the gangs, but they're going after. You know what? They get most of them when they go to the court to check on their status. They're trying to be like model citizens, man, and that's what they go for the low hanging fruit. This is wickedness, man. They showing the devil. The lamb with the two horns spake as a dragon. This dragon is speaking right now. The dragon is speaking right now.
Yeah, bro, that's overflow. That's overdoing it.
Ma, soy Ferrari.
No le hagas caso.
So yeah,
All right,
that's
don't worry
why
about it.
tell
Don't
him
worry about it. We got you.
tell him to get his mom and dad.
That's it.
Porque ahorita la amiga llegó aquí en el gimnasio y aquí
Yeah, this is some bullshit, man. This is bullshit. This is that cruel Lord. Let me go to that and I'm going to get ready to close. Let me see here. Isaiah 19. And these different troops that come in, they're going to be raping your daughters, man. Time of Jacob's trouble. Give me a second. Let me go ahead and find it. Okay, I found it. Should I start from the first verse? Anyway, the fourth verse says, and the Egyptians, which is America, read Revelation 11, will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith Yahweh, the Lord Yahweh of hosts. Let me look up the word cruel and fierce. And if you go to food shopping back in 2018 compared to now, them prices done, some of them tripled, some of them doubled. And you ain't got to get raises. There's people working 2 jobs, they're fucking homeless. A lot of beautiful women that are homeless. Beautiful women of the tribes and of the other nations. Isaiah 4:1. I keep quoting that. Let me look up the word cruel. Right, other one, right? Other one means Lord, like a superior. Cruel. The word is quasha, hard, cruel, severe, abstinent, hard, difficult, severe, fierce, intense, vehement, stubborn, stiff of neck, stiff-necked, rigorous of battle. Grievous, sore, cruel, roughly, heavy as in heavy-handed, hard-hearted, churlish, stiff-necked. You got a saying, a stiff upper lip, stern. We know who the cruel Lord is. Let me look up the word fierce. When he was running for his second time, 47, he was, I'm going to raise prices. Everybody going to come together. You blacks better vote for me, because what else do you got to lose? I'm going to help you. You'll do better with me. I'll stop the Ukraine-Russia war inside of 24 hours. As soon as I become president, prices are going to go down immediately. Prices went up. Because you people are fucking gullible. Give me a second here. Let me look up the word king, meaning Malak. A governor of a state, a governor of New York State is the king or queen of the state. The mayor is the king of the city. So the word here is eyes, strong, mighty, fierce, strong, fierce, mighty, power, greedy, roughly, stronger. Aizaz, to be strong, to be prevail, to make firm, strengthen. He's coming down on you with an iron fist. So let me give you one more precept. Daniel 12, and I'll read in a couple versions of it. Bear with me for a minute. The time of the end. I should do a chat on this. I should ask chat about this. Probably do it in a video later today or whatever. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, the Israelites. And there shall be a time of trouble. We're in that time, such as never was since there was a nation even to that time, same time. And at that time thy people, the Israelites, shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. Let me look at that in the NLT. At that time, Michael, the archangel, who stands guard over your nation, which are the Israelites, will arise. Then there will be a time of anguish greater than any since nations first came into existence. Because what's going to end all that is the missiles. You can't compare the missiles hitting this place to any other time in history. But at that time, every one of your people, the Israelite, whose name is written in the book, the elect, will be rescued. Let me try one more, the AMP. Now at that end time, Michael, the great angelic prince, who stands guard over the children of your people, the Israel. Talking to Daniel, Daniel's an Israelite. Daniel's people are Israelites. Will rise, and there will be a time of distress such as never occurred since there was a nation until that time. But at that time, your people, the Israelites, everyone who is found written in the book of life, will be rescued or delivered. Let me do this, then I'm going to close. I know again I'm going long, but guess that's the spirit. Wait for it to come up. Now it's acting up. Let me try it again. Paste. There we go. Okay, this is the NIV. Daniel 12:1 as a verse from the Old Testament, specifically Book of Daniel, contains apocalyptic and prophetic material. Here's the verse in the New International Version. Daniel 12:1. At that time, Michael, the great prince, who protects your people, will arise. There will be a time of distress such as has not happened from the beginning of nations until then. But at that time, your people, everyone whose name is found written in the book, and that's in Revelation, the book of life, Lamb's book of life, will be delivered. Key points from the verse: Michael, described as a great prince, often understood to be an archangel, who has a special role in protecting the Most High's people. Also reference in Revelation 12, beautiful, and in Jude 1 and 9. Time of distress. So we know that Revelation 12 and Daniel 12 will take place at the same time. It's the same prophecy, just given the two different prophets. A time of distress refers to a period of great tribulation or suffering unparalleled in history. The book implies a divine record, often understood to be the book of life, in which the names of the saved are written. Deliverance, the Most High's people will be rescued or saved during the time of turmoil, but only those whose names are in the book. Let me do this. Let me do it this way. What people what people, or who are the people, write that a different way. Who are the people in Daniel 12 verse 1? The Jewish people. The Jewish people, get out of here. The Israelites. Historically, your people refers to Daniel's people, i.e. the nation of Israel, right? The Israelites. That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. Okay, prophecy, theologically, in Christian interpretation, some interpret your people more broadly, and in eschatological end time sense to include all who are saved, Jews and Gentiles. Nope, they're wrong on that. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom on to the next shalom.